to say Anglo is racist. Everything, just be totally obsessed, totally freaked out, totally on eggshells where you don't say or do anything, while meanwhile these are nothing but cultural Marxists ruling over us, laughing at us, saying you don't like, you know, turning your guns in, you're racist. You don't like Obamacare, you're racist. Where you're so scared of being called a racist, you'll do whatever they say. You people have no power, you're a joke. People need to realize that you have no power. It is so incredibly frustrating to see these people consciously doing this. Yes, it sounds crazy and over the top to someone that's 50 years old or 35 years old or 40 years old or 60 years old to say that if you have a fiesta party for a fundraiser for your fraternity and you have enchiladas and tacos, that it's racist. But for people that are young, they go, okay, we won't have toga parties. Okay, that's racist against Greeks. And okay, we won't have the taco parties. And then remember earlier this year in Colorado and several other states, they said, don't have costume parties. They said it last October as well during Halloween, where you have stereotypes of a cowboy, of a bandito, of a geisha girl, of a Native American. That's racist. No, it's not. It's fun. It's fun to dress up like a Native American, and you don't mean any disrespect to Native Americans to dress up like a Native American. The girls love to do that, little Pocahontas outfits. And then you dress up like a cowboy, or vice versa. This is really meant to be mind control, ladies and gentlemen. And it's about making people feel bad. Because they know the average young person is the opposite of racist. So they've got to be taught now that there's something new to be guilty about. And I know most of you know that, folks, but we've got veterans being warehoused and not given health care. And we've got people like Bill Press saying the VA scandal is just another Republican Party conspiracy theory. I want to play that clip in a moment. And Jay Carney saying he just heard about it, while Bill Gates says, hey, kill a teacher. I mean, kill an old lady, hire 3 teachers. This is a culture of death. They are destroying our future. They are annihilating our industry. We're being shut down, and they've got us worried about taco bars and that there's honors night for an honors dinner with the teachers and the principals to hang out with the young adults that are about to graduate who have A+s and who've shown they want to succeed at life, and they want to go meet with teachers and the principals. They want to show they're part of society. They want to learn to go to business meetings. That's how you learn to dress nice and go to the meetings and go to the valedictorian meetings and go to the honors meetings, and that's where you go, hey, where are you thinking about going to college? Well, that's where I went. You ought to come by the corporate offices of the law firm downtown, and we'll get you to know the people so that as soon as you get ready to go to law school in 4 years, I think we may have a place for you. That's how you go meet people, because it's not about just about your grades. It's about you sit there at the banquet and are charming and talk to people. These are life skills, and the system doesn't want you to have those life skills on the golf course or at having cocktails, whatever. I'm telling you where business is done. It's done at the gym. It's done over cocktails. It's done at the country club. It's done at the corporate meetings. That's where you get jobs. That's where you succeed in life. And they're saying, oh, we didn't do good in school. We don't like the fact that you're going to go to a honors ball. This is an attack on reality, ladies and gentlemen. The globalists don't want men to be warriors. They don't want women to be women. They want you to be dumb, helpless jellyfish that go and enroll in government welfare. Because just like the Democratic representative came out and said, communism has worked under Obama. Yeah, it's worked in butchering this country. Let's go out to break with Bill Press. Here's Bill Press. It's a conspiracy theory to admit that the veterans are on death list and committing suicide in record numbers. Here it is.
You know, let's remember, Obamacare The Affordable Care Act is the law of the land, and the people who are ignoring the law are the governors who won't put Medicaid in their states, or these House Republicans who tried to repeal it 54 times. This is just another big lie. But you know, on the conspiracies, you're right. They went after Obamacare. They were going to run on that this year. That ran out of gas because it's doing so well. So now they've turned to Benghazi. This is soon going to run out of gas. What's next? The VA. I'll bet you that's what they're going to run on next.
Well, they're trying to make the VA. It's conspiracy, it's fear-mongering, and
folks,
Joe,
I want to explain something. We told you about the death panels. They admit the death panels, the rationing of care, where they charge you more for less. It's what they do in Europe. It's what they do in Canada. Brock Lesnar of the UFC couldn't even get surgery in Canada, folks. Remember that? I mean, I know people in Canada. Paul Watson had strep throat a few years ago, almost died. He couldn't get health care, and they wouldn't let him go to a private doctor even though he had the money. And he finally threw fits and got the care he needed. I mean, they say there's no $5,000 fine. Of course there is. It's in the stinking bill. Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex. A little over a year ago, I began to do a lot of research into why, even though I had a pretty good-sized meal, that I was still starving. And my research led me to a well-known fact that most of the soils that we grow our crops on here in the United States and across the industrialized world are almost completely depleted of almost all of the key minerals and trace elements that our bodies need to rebuild themselves, fight off cancer, and be healthy. I then searched out the best vitamin and mineral company out there and discovered Youngevity. The Youngevity products are designed to give you the real nutrition you need, and once you've got that, you don't have to eat as much to be satisfied. I've lost 37 pounds in 2 months, simply getting the vitamins and minerals I need. Check it out for yourself. It's incredible. Go to InfoWarsTeam.com today and order your first canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine Complete Multivitamin Mineral Complex Dietary Supplement. That's InfoWarsTeam.com.
Warnings of an American collapse hit us nearly every day. Gear up while you still can with Infidel Body Armor. Don't spend between $500 and $600. Infidel is available for just $374.99 with free shipping within the U.S. Made in America and legal in all 50 states. Resist tyranny with Infidel Body Armor. Buy yours today at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Spelled INFIDEL BodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Harvest Right is the world's first in-home freeze dryer. Freeze dry your own fruits, vegetables, meats, and full meals. With Harvest Right, you can prepare foods that last 25 years, preserving its freshness, nutrition, color, and taste. All your food can be freeze-dried. So don't throw away your leftovers. Freeze-dry them with this incredible in-home money-saving freeze dryer. Go to HarvestRight.com to see how the Harvest Right freeze dryer works. That's HarvestRight.com.
Supervisors in supervisory positions in this hospital that have been made statements, racial slurs against veterans, have made statements that, older veterans, they should just be taken outside and shot in the head because they're worthless. And this person still works there, and he's still a supervisor.
That is a senior individual at a major East Coast facility. And we're working on whether we can just say where the facility is, but obviously the voice is easy to recognize. So we should play that by ear with these other big whistleblowers and maybe just do transcripts so we can then say where they work. Because that's then what draws the attention to it. But it's at one of the biggest VA hospitals on the East Coast. And it's a 15-minute interview. I mean, it is just warehousing them and not giving them treatment and just waiting for them to die. And that's what we've now learned about Austin, what we've learned about Phoenix. And it is the policy to not give these people treatment. I remember it was 15 years ago or so, we started learning, it was in Kansas City, that they would strap down the old vets from World War II, Korea, and flies would actually go up their nose and lay eggs in the sinus, and maggots would eat their brain. And then I guess it turns into a VA joke, because it turned out there were cases in Washington State, Texas, you name it after that, where the only deaths from maggots in this country tend to be at VA hospitals and some nursing homes. And look, they don't have insurance to pump. They just want more. That's the attitude of, we'll get raises and have more money if we didn't have to take care of these old people. And you go to the VA facilities now, according to the vets that work here, and they have these special cops there, these mercenary types that get in your face, boss you around. They treat them really bad. And my dad always talked about doing volunteer work in the VA hospital, how nightmarish it was. And some are better than others, but Biggs went in, like I said, Monday to get signed up here. He lives here now. And they got his name wrong. First, they said, well, you can come for your internal bleeding in July, because he was in a one IED that Special Forces dug him out of, where it blew up the armored vehicle and burned up inside, and he breathed all the fumes and smoke and fire, and it burned his lungs and esophagus. So he coughs up blood all the time. I've seen him do it. He's bleeding real bad right now. And he went in there and just has blood leaking into his stomach, down and into his lungs. And they just told him, you know, you can come in July. We may be able to do something. And then they said, sorry, it's going to be longer because they've misspelled his name in the computer. And he just said, so what do I do? And they just said, well, hopefully you won't die. And he'd be on air right now talking about it, but he's in there taping interviews on Skype with more whistleblowers right now. And so that's how it works. He tells a story about one time he was being flown out of Ramstein back to the U.S. in his bloody uniform, because they put it back on him at the hospital. That's the type of care they get. They didn't get him. He was flown out, medevaced out of Afghanistan to Germany. So they dressed him back up in his combat uniform with shrapnel holes in the chest and legs and blood all over it and dirt and other things. And he's going through, and when he gets to the U.S., the TSA pulls him out and yells at him for an hour and a half, saying, why are we picking up explosives? And they were trying to cut open his cast, sticking probes in. And he was saying, look, I got blown up by shrapnel from a mortar. Here's my paperwork. He had IVs hooked in him, everything. I mean, that's how screwed up this country is. The media says they love veterans all day. The system hates you with a passion, and Homeland Security trains for war with you 24/7. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Visit
second hour coming up. Going to cover the waterfront. Bunch of breaking news. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.